Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another stream of Techopolis 3. I have checked. I do not have the mute on. I'm actually talking, and you should absolutely be able to hear me. Nedved Twitch, you should definitely be going to sleep. Do you ever sleep? Goodness gracious. John Megacycle, thank you so much. So glad you could join me. Calix, no, you don't ever sleep. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome back to Techopolis 3. I have been on a hiatus from streaming for a month and a half because I have been busy knitting my little fingers off with Christmas rush, and we are finally yes, I've been chatting on John's streams for the past few times he's been on playing his own Techopolis stream. And I think we've been playing for a couple of months now at least. Enjoying the pack very, very much. And we're back. So we'll start off with a little catch up on what all I've been up to. I've been able to play here and there, a few hours here and there, but not enough to where I could stream it. And I have some quest progress to catch us up on, and I have been automating all the things. Not all the things. I've been automating a lot of the things. Have picked up lots of great tips from District and from JC, and definitely from John, because he is really good at automating a lot of things. So there's JC coming and renewing his subscription, 51 months. Thank you so much. So let's get started, first of all, with the quest book. So, what have I gotten done since last we were here? I may have gotten all of the pure chapter turned in. It was a struggle bus, I'm not going to lie. I'll show you what I've done. Of course, we know turning in the quest just gets us our tech bucks. But this process has shown me I have a lot of work I need to do. We are nowhere near ready to do any of this stuff. We have to automate so much stuff. But I got here because we needed diamonds. We wanted to be able to have diamond tools, and we wanted to be able to do enchant, and we wanted to do a bunch of other things. We got lucky in that our woodland mansion had a block and diamond in it, so we were able to get our enchanting table set up, but we wanted to be able to have the ability to have that diamond equipment. And so pushing forward to get to that making diamond was very important to us. I had no idea how complicated that process was going to be until I actually got in doing it. And then I worked on getting that process automated to where I can sit there AFK and the system is making diamonds by itself. But it is work. Oh my gosh, all the stuff I had to do to get that set up. It's working. It's slowly working, but it's working. But JC is telling me we need thousands and thousands of diamonds. It's very overwhelming, to be sure. I've also almost gotten done with the teleporting chapter. I've pushed through like a little bit here and a little bit there. And what I've learned is I don't have anywhere near enough diamonds, and I don't have anywhere near enough inscribers, and I don't have anywhere near enough automation to be able to take us into the dimensional chapter, which is where we're going to be able to get gold and a bunch of other resources coming in through the dimensional ore miner. And I'm just like, oh, we've got so much we still need to do. Backfilling some automation of resources coming in and processing. The biggest thing we need is this advanced technium ingot. It goes into so many things. We need thousands of these ingots. and I'm still running around the base crafting them by bringing the resources manually to the machine. So that's not going to work if we're going to be making thousands and thousands of these ingots. So we have a lot of stuff that we need to do to make this process just happen behind the scenes. Hello, Davichi. Good to see you. I fixed the dimensional travel, Morty. We're going to be back to the adventures just like the usual, Morty. You hear me? It's going to be exactly. Yeah, it's going to be great. We'll have AE2 in no time, and it'll be. Yeah, no, it's not going to be like that. Poor district thinking we're going to be done with the pack by Christmas and we'll have the AE2 system in no time. And yeah, it's not going to be anything like that. This filler pack is going to take us a lot longer than I think any of us anticipated. Calyx is bull rushing it and is marching his way to the end, literally and figuratively, because he got to the end yesterday. Yesterday? Saturday. This weekend. This weekend he has made it to the end. But we're a long, long way away from that. I also opened up the 2 challenges, which is making Easter eggs and Giga Compressed, which is making us building up towards having infinity cells for our AE2 system, which, yeah, guess what? We don't have yet. Uh-huh. So, yeah, more to come on that because, hey, I'm all for having a chocolate factory. The idea of a chocolate factory? Yeah. Monofactory is supposed to be our next big pack, but we're waiting for it to come out of beta and be a full release, and they are not quite ready for full release, so we thought this was going to be our next filler pack. And I have the feeling this filler pack is gonna fill for a lot longer because there's an awful lot of chapters yet to go here, and we're still working our way through here. But here is our starter base. We parked ourselves at one of the villages that we found and cleared a section of land next to it, took over one of the houses to use as a storeroom, and started work down the quest line. And quickly figured out, you need to start automating the things and having the various machines and processes needed to do all of the different things laid out so you can see where they are and figure out what does what. And so that's what we did. So over here we have our miners. We have them all laid out back to front. So we have our gravel and our sand and our cobblestone on the front. And then on the back we have our clay and our stone and our grout. And then all of that material gets used in a whole lot of different ways. So, for example, we've got over here, we have smooth stone that gets processed in a brick blast furnace. We've got sand that, of course, gets made into glass. We've got black brick, which gets processed in a brick blast furnace, which is the grout. Then I've got charcoal over here. I have got a cloche. The cloche drops wood that both will fuel the furnace and make me charcoal. At one time, it was making me stone until I got the stone miner set up. You love the layout on my base. It's very clearly documented it all. It's like a masterclass in how things work with other stuff. It's a start, but it could be so much better. Grinch found the signs helpful so that he knew where to go looking for things. And as things got bigger and bigger and we had more and more things, it was harder to remember, okay, which of the machines was for what. And so I started just labeling everything because it was easier than trying to remember was just labeling things. So here we have the rock washer that processes gravel to give us flint. Then here we have the process for making leather. I've got a cloche that processes the hemp. The hemp comes down here and gets turned into tough fabric. The tough fabric comes down here, gets compressed into leather. Then that leather needs to get run over there to be made into our basic technium. That's one of the things I have to do is I have to set up routing to get items from over here to our basic technium machine, which is over there. Which at the time I didn't have a method for doing that besides leg power. We now have a method for doing that. I just haven't set all of that stuff up yet. Then here we have a smeltery for producing coal. The charcoal goes in here, it melts down and makes the coal that goes down in here. So the charcoal can go from here, go in that chest and get melted down to make us coal. Well, I have a way now of automatically taking the charcoal and moving it over there. Again, I just haven't got that part set up yet. Then here we have diorite, granite, and andesite. Those three things are made by putting in stone into all of these. And it is processing currently compressed stone, which gives me compressed diorite, granite, and andesite. These three things get moved over to produce iron, aluminum, and tin. And again, to help me remember that's what it is, I have signs that tell me granite makes iron, diorite makes aluminum, andesite makes tin, but I don't have a way of moving the diorite over to here to get washed. Again, I have now a way of doing it, I just don't have it set up yet. Yes, you have Kuna was here signs everywhere. I have labels. I have labels everywhere. For copper, we've got the stone comes in here, makes the copper ore pieces, comes down here, flows into the crafter that gets crafted into the raw copper and comes down here. I have all of these machines that produce the raw ore, but the raw ore then needs to be taken somewhere else for processing. That's on my list of things that need to be added onto my system is the processing of the raw insert name of ore here into whatever the next step needs to be. So raw copper needs to be made into copper rods and copper ingots and bronze, and there's a whole list of things that copper gets used in that I need one place that it can go and get made into all of these things, or I need to route it to multiple locations to make all the different things. Um, then here we've got over here. So here we've got lead, silver, and nickel. These get made with crushed deep slate. And I've got full stacks of all of these. The crushed deep slate is being manufactured farther down in the base, and it is automatically being sent over here to be crushed or to be washed. And because I have all of that already set up, this area is backfilled until I get the processing of this ore taken care of. So, very happy with that. Then, here in the middle, we have our coke oven. So the coke oven is where we make creosote oil. This is another area where I have the blocks of coal can come up here, get converted into creosote oil. The creosote oil comes over to here. The cloche will process into my treated wood. Treated wood planks need to get zoomed over there again to make my basic technium. Another one of those I need to have it zoomed over, and I haven't got that step done. But it is currently backlogged, so I have a great supply of my treated wood planks. Oh, and I have lots of lights set up. These little white lamps, we have pilfered them from villages that we have explored, and using those to provide light. They provide a lot more light than a torch, I feel, and I like that very much. So this is the basic Technium machine. I have thank you, Sunshine. I have an item batcher set up programmed for the recipe for a basic technium ingot. And then here in this chest is where it's dumped all the various components and all that. And then it automatically will pull into the item batcher. And once it has enough ingots to create one ingot, it'll automatically dump them all into the machine and make the ingot. And then those ingots need to get shoot over here to this machine, which is the advanced version. And then that one needs to be making me the advanced technium ingot. Same setup here where I have a program of the recipe here. And then this is currently completely filled with crushed deep slate because my automatic process is so completely backlogged. I have crushed deep slate overflow. So I need to turn off the crushed deep slate because I have too much of it at the moment. It has filled up the ore processing and it has filled up this chest here. So there's actually too much of a good thing. Who would have thunk it? I know. In the middle here we have our alloy kiln. This is where we can make the molten obsidian. I need to set it up to fill this with lava to make molten obsidian because I have learned that molten obsidian works great in smelteries as a hot fuel source and will help your smelteries work faster. So if I can pump the lava into here and keep it fuel to be making me molten obsidian, I can then pump the molten obsidian out into multiple smelteries and then use that for processing my ores. So that is, again, one of the multiple lists. Oh, Maximum, my volleyball team lost. My football team has lost its quarterback, albeit he was injured. The good news is my basketball team went over to Illinois and beat them at the buzzer and is undefeated this year. My women's basketball team is undefeated this year. So I guess I'm now a basketball state. Go figure. Oh, and my Chiefs are out of the playoffs and my quarterback has a broken knee. So my sports are completely, my sports are all messed up. It's been a very weird sports weekend. This is for sure. Maybe your Bears are going to do something weird and make the playoffs. I I can cheer for the Bears for the rest of the season for sure. Although, their division is like all kinds of messed up right now. So, who knows what's going to happen in that crazy division. It's nuts. Oy, oy, oy. So, back here, we have my metal press, which I'm currently using for my plates, my ingots, and my gears. And then we have my crusher, which I've been using to process my raw ores because I can get 66.67% chance for a doubling. And for things like lead and silver and nickel and aluminum, until I had a backlog of those raw ores, that was like really, really valuable. Now, not so much, because I actually have a whole bunch of that raw ore that I can process in a smeltery. So, I might not be needing this machine quite so much. Back here, we have the deep slate machine that is maybe too good. Possibly too good. I'm going to turn it off. Because it is overflowed my area back there, and so I don't need it to be sending anymore at the moment. It's a pretty slick little setup. I've got a cloche setting up with pumpkins to produce biofuel in my biogenerator that provides the power for all of the machines you have in this little setup here. I have got a metallurgic infuser that is processing the stone, and that stone gets turned into deep slate, and that deep slate comes over here to the crusher. It gets crushed into cobbled deep slate. The cobbled deep slate comes over here to the crusher. It gets crushed, and that comes over here to become crushed. Now, why did you... I took the exporter off. You shouldn't have gone anywhere. That's interesting. Where did you go? Interesting. Very interesting. The cloche is here, and that is going into a double compressed furnace, and that is providing both the fuel and the oak logs to make the charcoal that goes down into here, providing the carbon necessary to keep the metallurgic infuser going. And I've got a stone miner here that provides the stone to keep the whole operation going. And obviously it has worked very, very well because I have all the cobbled crushed deep slate I could possibly need at this point. Um, we might find more uses for it. We'll just have to wait and see. So that is sort of area 1. You can see these red and blue little boxes here. Those are the importers and exporters. I have those in several places around the base, and those are what I'm using to wirelessly send items all over the base, and have found them to be very, very helpful. So like this is one of the importers. It is bringing in the crushed deep slate into this chest. If you lose to the Packers this week, it'll be a very short-lived bandwagon because you still haven't beaten anyone in the division. Yeah, I saw that. Not having you could have maybe won that game if you hadn't had some bad luck. Got similar imports over here, bringing that stuff in. They are all being powered by a single importer with a round robin function over here. And I need a whole bunch more of them to move things around my base. The problem being these things require these advanced technium ingots. So making a whole lot more of these, very, very important. Very, very important. So we're striving to try and make as many of these as possible. And let's see, why are you not taking my? There you go. The other thing we've managed to do is bring back 9 flawless budding Certus quartz, so that we can set that up to hopefully grow us our Certus quartz through our explorations finding meteors. And also through that we have found nether meteors, and those nether meteors brought us gold, which makes me very excited because we don't have access to gold yet. It's not until the next chapter. And I have 200 of them, which means I can make my energy upgrades early. I'm excited. Very excited. So I will be able to make energy upgrades for all of my existing mechanism machines early. That was a lovely surprise, finding those nether meteors. They have gilded blackstone in them that you can break down when you mine them, and they give you gold nuggets. The other half of our base is in this woodland mansion, which Grinch found on day 1 or 2. think it was either day 1 or day 2 of the pack. It took us a bit to get him geared up to where he could take on the mobs inside because, of course, it was filled with evokers and all of the normal baddies you have inside of a woodland mansion. But he has been able to take it over, and I have been slowly building out factory inside of it with some serious remodeling. So this first room has been my sort of mechanism work room, and I started with a thermoelectric generator in the floor to provide me power until I got my biogenerator up and running. And so we've got the crusher and cloche and the bio generator. I've got my osmium compressor over here. I have my combiner here. I have the precision sawmill here that's needed for making the cardboard boxes. I have got my metallurgic infuser, my enrichment chamber, my first inscriber, and my purification chamber. Only the first of many, many more. This is sort of the workroom where I've been using them to push forward on progression. And in another part of the mansion is where I will start setting up my repetitive items for automation purposes. So my plan is to set up a line coming out of the wall here and then setting up all of my inscribers along this wall for the various items that I need inscribers for example. And then this space continues over here around this wall. And I have cleared out this whole area over here. And then down this way, I've cleared it out. And it continues down this way. This is the room where we cleared out the lava and got our block of diamond. I need to clear out this obsidian, and then I'll have this additional space here. And more rooms down that way that need to be emptied out, and then we'll continue adding more factories as we go. And I imagine it's going to be tons and tons and tons of space made as we keep taking out the existing structures within the rooms, knocking down walls, etc., etc. This ended up being made in the hallway, which wasn't the original intent. It's just that's sort of where it ended up needing to be. This is my silicon setup where I have got the sand miner going in here, and then the chemical injection chamber takes sand with hydrogen to make the silicon and is dumping it into a drawer, and I have that maxed out already with 2048 silicon. I have got an electrolytic separator that is breaking the water between hydrogen and oxygen. There is an electric pump down there that is feeding from a infinite source of water, and then the oxygen from that is getting fed directly into my purification chamber as part of my diamond production. And then in here is my diamond production. So we have got a cobblestone miner and a gravel miner. The gravel miner is feeding over here into a crafter that compresses gravel as well as coal, feeding things into a rock washer. So ambient water collector feeds the water. This provides me my flint. Comes over here and turns into enriched flint, which hasn't been needed as much because I've got the oxygen from the other side of the wall now. That is taking care of the purified coal block. Whoop. The coal block comes in here, turns into a purified coal block to get shot across the room. Then here we have got the compressed cobblestone coming into here, feeding into the cobblestone melter that goes into lava that is providing the power for this simple controller. The wood from the two cloches up there come down into this compressed furnace that provides the fuel, as well as the logs that turn into the coal. Charcoal comes down here, gets melted, comes over into the smelter. That block mold turns into blocks of coal. That gets shot over to here. Hello. Come on. Here it comes. Come on. Goes in there. Goes in there. Gets purified. Pops into there. Shoots over to here. Then once that gets up to 8, the purified water, which is being generated by this and getting fed by those 3 water blocks, makes my diamonds, which I am up to 3, 6, 8 sacks of diamonds, and we're working on number 9. Woohoo! Yes, I talk to my blocks, I make sound effects, I do all of those same things. All the time. All the time. I've got more workspaces prepped for more of the factories, but as I worked through some of these last night, as I have made, oops, down here, I have made the ultimate control circuit, I've made the atomic alloy, and working down here towards this dimensional machine frame, I need another ultimate control circuit. I need 6 of the obsidian glow ingots, a diamond gear, to make one of these dimensional machine frames. I'm like, this is not going to work. I'm like, no. The cost on these things to be able to make all of these, I'm just like, this is just, no. I cannot keep running, literally running around the base, moving this piece here and this piece here and this piece. It's just, it's way too manual. It's not gonna work. I need to have more things just automatically moving around and auto-crafting itself. Although I worry about then running out of X or Y or making too much of one thing and not enough of another thing that uses the same source material. I'm a little worried about that, but this is definitely not going to work because we need thousands of these ingots. I don't even want to know how many of them I've already made doing it the old-fashioned way. It's a lot. And it's just like, nope, I can't keep doing this. This is just not going to work. Because it's just going to get harder as we get to the elite technium, which is at the end of the pack here, because this recipe, sure enough, is going to require the advanced technium ingot. So every one of these I need another one of these. Ugly. Ugly. So, I've been making a list of different things that we can do that in theory... Oh, which one had the bed in it? No, Mr. Piggy, not you. Thank you. Like, we started off with our lava collection as the good old tried and true vanilla. Which works great, don't get me wrong. This was amazing. This cannot keep up with the volume of lava we need for making all of the molten obsidian that we're going to need. Just, no, it can't keep up. So we're going to need cobblestone melters processing the all of this, and it's going to have to be processed in not just this state, but we're going to have to compress it because you get more lava processing a compressed cobblestone in the melter than just a regular one, right? So we can put that back. We can send the cobblestone into a crafter, compress it, then send it into the melter, melt it, and then we can send the lava into a tank, let it sit in, hold it in there so that between the melter and the tank we have a reservoir of lava. And then we can put an exporter on the tank and then be routing it to multiple places. So we can export the lava to here, for example, so that the lava gets fed automatically into here, producing our molten obsidian, which then we need to automatically move the molten obsidian from here over to here, as long as there's room for it, as well as to the tanks for processing setups for copper. Where's copper? For copper, for iron, for aluminum, for tin, for lead, for silver, and for nickel, which is the whole lot of smeltery processing stuff. But the importers and exporters have the functionality to do that, but they require more of these advanced technium ingots because they break down into nuggets. Blah, again. But we can move fluids and items with speed upgrades and round robin upgrades, and one exporter can route to multiple importers. So I just need one source block to send to multiple locations. So if I can get this set up to producing my lava, I can then send that lava to here. Because I don't know if I can send it directly to the kiln or not. Because if I mess with the kiln brick, or the alloy kiln controller, I'm worried it's going to have bits. I'm hoping it won't, because it doesn't mind if I put the flopper or the either of the floppers on there. It doesn't mind me interacting with those. So I should be able to put the importers and exporters on it and have it be okay. So I could take that flopper off and put the importer on to feed the lava directly into it. And then I want to have the lava going in just as quickly as possible to keep that full. And then I could put the exporter for the molten obsidian on the bottom and then shoot it over there and then shoot it over to the tanks. Now the tanks, I'm going to need 7 of them because I've got 7 different ores that need 7 different smelteries. And I'm like, where the heck am I going to put 7 different smelteries? That's a lot of smelteries. So I'm thinking we're going to terraform into the mountain here. Because I really don't want to. First I thought I could just put them right here in the middle. But I'm like, no, I kind of like having this empty space in the middle because I like having that definition of separation between the miners and the washing. So I really don't want to put them right smack in the middle. So I'm thinking instead I want to terraform that away. Is what I'm thinking. Which is going to be, you know, a lot of blast brick, a lot of. It's going to be a mess. Needless to say, it's going to be a lot of mess. But I think we can clear a ton of space fairly quickly. Excuse me. And I'd like it to be relatively lined up with their corresponding inputs so that I have everything relatively close together. I don't want them having to travel great distances if I can help it. Pop that in there. If I can help it. Actually, let's go ahead and take. Let's take a little more off here. Don't tell Potox I used a pickaxe to knock out dirt. Keep it a secret. Okay, JC. So these are ores too, so we're going to take this area here off. Nothing like a little terraforming. Okay. Do. And some of these smelteries will be just straight to ingots and blocks, because I may want both. And some of them will be straight to just blocks, because it's easier to store just one thing. Because I can always break them back down to ingots as I need them. And some of them are gonna have multiple blocks that are gonna be processing things into lots of things. Because, for example, copper, I need all sorts of copper things. I need all the copper things. Oh, there went my excavator. Let's go empty our inventory out here, and we'll come back. Do 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 do. I should probably stuff these in here for now until I need them again. And that, and I need another excavator, which I should be able to upgrade to. And I processed some iron. Where did it go? I processed a little iron. Apparently not very much. It was a little bitty bit of iron. That'll do. Oh, and I've got efficiency 4 on my pickaxe, so it just moves through things so quickly. It's lovely. Oh, and you saw my diamond pick. I've got fortune 3, efficiency 3, unbreaking 3. Ah, enchanted gear. So nice. Oops. That. That. That in there. That gives me plenty of space past there. Let's take those out. Fill that in. Okay, I think that takes me far enough because this is the edge of coal. So, yes, that should work. So, the first thing we need to do is we need to move the diorite, the granite, and the andesite to the appropriate intake for iron, aluminum, and tin. That's the first thing we need to do because that is going to start the production of those 3 ores. So we're going to need 3 exporters and 3 importers. And I don't believe I have any. And We are not going to have enough iron to do either thing. Oh, is that going to give me enough? Okay. You forgot all about enchanting. Well, now to be fair, you can't make an enchanting table until you get a hold of a diamond. So, unless you get lucky like we did and get diamonds from the Woodland Mansion, you have to be able to make a diamond to be able to make the enchanting table. Or you fish for books, which I forgot to show. Grinch's fishing. Oh, we're in an ad break. I will show that when we get back from the ads. Those ad breaks sneak up on me. Looks like I'm going to be able to do these like one at a time. So let's get the round robin. And then I'm going to need an item upgrade. And I'm going to need item upgrade. And then I'm going to need sugar. Here's my speed upgrade. Welcome back from the ad break. So, John mentioned forgetting all about enchanting. So, before I noticed that the ad was on, I was mentioning that you can't really do as much enchanting without an enchanting table, which requires a diamond. And you haven't reached the point in the pack yet where you're manufacturing diamonds. But you can get books if you go fishing, which Grinch loves to go fishing. So over here we have his fishing collection of goodies he has gotten while fishing. Since we have our Acacia Village here is like literally right on the side of some water, we have gotten tons of magical books with things like Power 4 and different, Respiration 2, Luck of the Sea, Fire Protection, Regular Protection, Fortune 2, Unbreaking 3, Protection 3, Looting 2, Efficiency 3, Piercing 4, Luck of the Sea 3. Some pretty good enchanting books acquired by fishing. And then once you have enough iron, you can make your anvil, and then you can put the enchantments on. Assuming you have enough levels. And you can get some enchanted fishing rods. And if you're lucky, you get one that has mending on it, and then it fixes itself and you have an infinite fishing rod. Which then works pretty slick. And off you go. It's a very, very cool way to get experience as well, because you earn experience while you're fishing. So you can build up experience points for anything that you may need experience for just by sitting there fishing, and then you get some good loot. Not that you have to worry about, you know, getting armor to build up toward mobs or any of the normal things that you're trying to get experience for in the pack. But there are some benefits of having enchantments on your tools, because like when you're working on landscaping and you want to be able to dig out a hole faster or some of those other things, there are some purposes to having your items to be enchanted. So it is kind of nice. Not gonna lie, it is kind of nice. So I have made the first set of exporter and importer, and you need the connector, which is the wrench that goes with the mod for connecting two items together. And I have to think on these to make sure I do things in the right order. So it is importer. I'm checking the... I'm gonna check the order. Click on the importer and then onto the exporter. Okay, so we're going to go to iron. And iron is going to be our importer. And the item we are importing is going to be the... compressed diorite. And I'm going to click on you. Oh, and then I put the wrong one. Not diorite. Granite. Not you. You. My click is still valid. I just had the wrong item. Okay. So then we're going to select the exporter. And we're going to select an item upgrade, a speed upgrade, a round robin upgrade. And then we're going to ask it to please move this, and we're going to collect this. And then you can see the little dots showing you the path of the connection. And then if you go in here, you can see the first slot is going down. And you can see that the compressed granite is going into the rock washer. This is now filling with the output of iron bits, which will go into the compactor, and then this is going to slowly fill up with iron. So that takes care of our iron processing. That is now automated to moving the output from here to here. Next one we want to do is the aluminum. So I need two more importer and exporters. So we're going to do an importer and an exporter. And then we need a round robin. And then I may have run out of iron. I have run out of iron. Can I remelt iron bars? No. I could remelt these iron rods. Take that out. I actually need ingots, or nuggets, so let's put that in there. And remelt those down. That will work. And where did I put my tank? Tank. In preparation for needing this, let's start you making me more molten obsidian. Do 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 do. Lovely. Oh, that is my gunsmith. I have my engineer's workbench sitting right here. And that is his workstation. And so he is resetting himself, even though he can't do any trades with me. He still resets himself, just like a villager who is a cleric will reset himself at his brewing station. So I have, luckily for me, I have a cleric. Can't trade with a cleric, but I have his brewing stand. Yep. It does add a little ambiance to have the villagers around, even though they can't be interacted with. Otherwise, you're like just there by yourself, and it gets a little eerie. And I'm playing. I feel like I'm playing by myself sometimes, and it's just like, And if it gets to be like too annoying, you can always come in here and which one is he? It's the gunsmith. Ah, revolver reloading. Boop. Do that, and now we do not hear him anymore. He'll still keep doing it. We just won't hear him doing it. Okay, so we have our round robin upgrade, and then we need our... Oh, now I need another iron ingot. How many more nuggets did I get? 17. Oh, that's enough to make me an ingot. Do 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 do. Okay. Item upgrade. One of you. And then we want a speed upgrade. We need a sugar. Doot, doot, doot. And we are running a little low on sugar. Whoa, wait a minute. Really? Oh. Well, that was silly of me. I changed it out from the growing the cactus, and I didn't change the dirt. Duh! Okay. Well, we should have more sugarcane here soon. Okay. There are item, speed, round robin. Now we can do the second one. So we'll come back to aluminum. That one is diorite. So we'll take a diorite with us. And we're going back to this one. And this one is going to be the importer. You go there. Importer. Click. And then we go to the diorite. Put you on top. Diorite. And you're an item. Speed. Round robin. Click. And we can see the diorite going out. And going in. So that takes care of our aluminum. Now, methinks we are going to run out of iron. So let's take these and switch this back out to the block. And let you process a stack of iron, because methinks we're going to run out of other things before we're able to do... Yes, we are out of the advanced technium nuggets. So, what are we short of over here? And with the item batcher, we can just look at a glance and see what are we short of, and then go run and grab them. So we are missing palace crystals, we are missing bronze, and we are missing silver plate. So we know we're going to need lead, we're going to need silver, and we're going to need copper and tin. So the question is, do we have any of that? So, good news is we have lead. The bad news is we do not have silver. And we don't have copper. And we do not have tin. We have a little bit of tin dust. So, what we can do is we can take copper and we can run the copper over and grind it up into dust. So we can combine that with our tin dust to make some bronze. And we have silver. And normally I'd say, oh, we can go ahead and grind that. But now that we have a gallon of silver, we're just going to process that here as well. And now that we have just a tiny bit of that left, we'll grab the nugget cast and switch you out. So my atomic reconstructor is on the roof. Oh, I forgot to show this part. Silly me. See, I haven't played for a month. I don't remember where all my base is. Behind the lava is where my redstone production is, which is my blast furnace and my rock washer with my blast furnace for making redstone. And this is another area where things are not automatically flowing around like they could be, should be, yet. So I have the sand being processed, but then the salt needs to go to a second machine. I don't have a second machine, so I have to bring the salt up. And then I have to put the charcoal in for the second round. Not an efficient way of processing this at all. And then the burnt redstone needs to move from here over to here. Well, I only have one side left. Well, I should be able to move that with importers and exporters from this chest to the back of that machine. And then I have this lovely gyration of pipe that is moving it from this chest into the blast furnace and cooking out my redstone, which is great, but I don't have the fuel going into this automatically. So it's only like half automated. And as you can hear, the power doesn't stay up very long on keeping the two preheaters going. This is my alloy kiln, which runs out rather quickly, but has been helping me with making my bronze. And my power back here is one of my favorite things, the immersive engineering windmill. And then back here I have got the canola press providing power for a freezer with an ambient water collector, and this is where I've been making snowballs as well as ice. Not sure what all this ice is going to be used for, but I do have a ton of it. So we can throw the ice away, throw the snowball away. But again, more steps and stages that would be nice to have things automatically moving around and not dependent on me fixing them and moving them. And it is a lot of leg power. Now, one thing that I'm a little concerned about is I don't know how server friendly these routers are. So I think JC's been using them a little bit. If I'm using tons of them, is it going to start causing lag? I don't know. We will find out. Because I have the feeling I'm going to be using more in the very near future. Because they work really nicely. I find them very easy to configure, which I struggle sometimes with getting the configuration on some of these things set up. And these have been really straightforward. And I appreciate it when it's simple and straightforward and I don't have to go, what is this? How does this work? I don't understand. I haven't had that problem with these. That makes me very happy. Let's go ahead. Oop, I didn't put the nugget cast away. I'll put that away. And let's see. We've got, do we have any bronze in here? I do have some bronze in here, so we can do that. That's going to get me 3 more of those. And around. I know I don't have any tin. Have a little bit of copper for doing some more bronze, but for the moment I'm going to leave that alone. Oh, and my atomic reconstructor is literally on the roof. And it stores such a ridiculous amount of energy that I don't have to worry about recharging it regularly. I just throw them down, hop on the power plate, and they get converted. I throw them down, I hop on the power plate, and they get converted. And I just do batch crafting. And again, this is one of those where normally I'd be throwing them in here, but these are quite full. So in this case, I will throw them in here and in here. So now we just need the silver plate, which that is done. So I should be able to throw them in here. Just need to take you off. And let's do half a stack. Metal press is definitely not the most efficient way of doing these. It is definitely satisfying listening to the ka-thunk, ka-thunk, ka-thunk of it, though. I do love me some immersive engineering. It easily has to be my favorite mod. The whoosh whoosh of the windmill, the electrical wires zooming around. It's just so cool. The one problem I do have here is I can't use the metal press and the crusher simultaneously very long, because even with my LV accumulator there, it will run out of power very quickly, because that crusher is a power hungry beast, and then I run out of power and then they will freeze up. There will be items left hanging on here and they will despawn, and it just causes a nightmare. Oh, and this is my researcher and research crafter. I have them set up to drop their contents down here in these chests. Very handy. Alrighty, so we can drop these in here. Boop. And sends it over here as a batch, and it is going to craft me another ingot. And now I can see I am again missing bronze, and now I am missing aluminum gears, and it has automatically sent over from the chest the crushed deep slate. Bink! But you can see what a pain that is, running around, picking up all the pieces and parts and running them over to the item. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. A lot of time. Alright, one more. So we have our exporter and our importer. And then our round robin. And then we need our item upgrade. And now I am short copper. Okay, that one, I should have my copper. I forgot to grab it. Didn't get quite as much out of that one on the bonus as I normally do. Normally I get up in the 40s. Okay, so we're going to use our 10 and go boom, boom, boom. Whoop. All right, and then this is going to go in. Oh, I can't put it in there because the charcoal's full. Okay, oh, I can do. All right, put that in there. Put the charcoal in here to make me more coal. And then you will have room to cook me the bronze. And then we'll put the copper dust over here. Put that in there, and we'll put the ingot cast in the back so it makes copper nuggets, and I can flip them into ingots easily enough. I have not made the hunger curio yet, so I still need to eat my bread and my apples. Which fortunately we still have plenty of wheat, and we have plenty of apples over in our main storage, well, not main storage room, our original storage room, which is still over here. I have not moved the stuff over from the original storeroom yet, which is packed to the gills. This is our original storeroom. We packed it to the gills with the stuffs and the things. Like, all the stuffs and all the things. And I have yet to bring all of the stuff over that potentially could be useful. Yeah, haven't done all that yet. Got another cloche here that we could use. We've been collecting all the different colored trees, colored apples, colored logs, because we're like, we have no idea if there's going to be some funky challenge involving them, just in case we were getting ready. Just in case we were getting ready. Oh, more Certus. Hello. I'll take more Certus. Grange said there was more Certus, and I couldn't find it in the storage system. That's because it was over here. Oh, look, 31 more gold ingots. Thank you, yes, please. Yeah. Nothing like finding more stuff you didn't know you had that you could use. Yeah. So, I need to take time and go through and like grab all the Certus and grab all the regular wood and all of the stuff that is potentially going to be useful. I need to grab it from over here and bring it over to the area 1 storage and dump it in there so we have access to it. And then the other stuff that is like, well, we don't want to get rid of it, but we don't really need it in our day-to-day storage. We'll leave that over in that storeroom as a nice to have, but we don't need you right now type of storage. Just because I don't know if we're going to need all of this. Can theoretically maybe be improved. I don't know, but I was like, all that gold. All that gold. So much gold. Look at how fast that diorite is cleaning out of there. That's crazy. Meanwhile, the stone cannot keep up with the use that these three guys are out of it. I'm constantly out of stone. If I need stone, I have to like divert it from being used over here. It's ridiculous. But I've got lots of ore. It's a good thing. Okay, so the remaining copper should be getting processed over here. Did you go up front instead? There is 5 millibuckets of iron in there that we can't use. Oh, that's a pain. What am I supposed to do with 5 millibuckets of iron? Ugh. For some reason, it went to the front. Oh, it went to the front one instead of the back one because of that stupid 5 that is stuck in the back one. Well, that's a pain. Okay, try this again. I have an item upgrade and a speed upgrade, which I need the sugar for. Put that away. Sugar. And once this is empty, I'll switch them back. And do that. Perfect. Okay. Put those away. Alright. Then the last one we need to do is the andesite. So we're going to grab a compressed andesite. And that is going to be the tin. So we're going to come back up here. And this is going to be the importer. And you're going to be the andesite. And we click on you. And we come down here. And got the exporter. You go on top here. Here. And you get an item upgrade, a speed upgrade, a round robin upgrade, compressed andesite, which goes back in the chest, and you go click. And then we verify we have andesite going out of the chest, and then we have andesite going in here, and we are now automatically producing tin. Okay, so now we have copper, iron, aluminum, tin, lead, which is full, silver, which is full, and nickel, which is full. Those are the 7. 4 of the 7 are full. Those are the ores that we all need to get processed. And we're going to have smelteries set up on the ground behind them, processing them. So we're going to need a lot of black brick, of which I have none processing right now. this is a problem. We need to bring grout over to here and get processing, which is another set of processes. So we need another one of these, and I'm already out of advanced. Next. We need another one of these, which means we're going to need more bronze. And we are going to need aluminum gears. So, we should have bronze was being processed in here. Right there. So, do this. And this. And this. Alright, 11 blocks of bronze. Blocks of bronze. That was great. Okay, so there is the bronze. Now we need aluminum gears. So, best way to do that is going to be to grab a stack of the aluminum ore, which is here, and come over here and grab our gear cast and put it in here and melt that down. Now, how am I going to get that iron out? Ah, click to dump fluid. Bing! Perfect. Now, having done that, is the aluminum going to go to the back? Why does it want to just randomly go where I don't plan it and I'm going? And, see, it did it. I knew it. Knew it would do that. I put the gear mold in the front. It goes to the back. Never fails. You got it exactly right. Shift click to nuke. I am going to run around. Not that way. Run around this way. I am going to go ahead and grab a uber large hand of grout and put it in the other side. Alright, so this goes in there, this goes in here. Let's fill this up with a bunch of grout. Alright, so you start cooking grout while I'm working on getting this done so I can set up a grout from there to here to keep this filling so I can fill this box up with black brick. Because we're going to need a ton of black brick to make all of these smelteries. The other thing we're going to need is a ton of lava, which to do that, we're going to need a crafter, which we can run and do that. Rain, rain, go away, come back, never. Here is C is for auto crafter. Switch you out. Auto crafter. Pokemon! Hello, hello. I am back from my hiatus at last. I think it was a month and a half between streams. Okay, so we are going to... Let's see. Where do I have my pipe? There we go. This and this. And I don't have anything going in that direction. I don't know, we should be able to do... I think we can do it that way. And go... Will it go there with the sign? No. Okay. So we have to go forward one, like this, and then configure this to be items. Alright, so then you are going to get double click recipe for compressed cobblestone here, there, and I want you to go to the, no, go to the output buffer, there, so you are going to go to the output buffer. Okay. Then I'm going to want a barrel. That. Okay, so then the cobblestone is going to go back to that barrel. Okay. And we need to make a melter, which surprisingly we need our black bricks for. Good thing we're making them. Oh, I had some in there. Didn't even notice. Alright. Cobblestone melter. Drop that off. Okay. Cobblestone melter. And then you can go like this. And then go boom, boom. Alright. So the cobblestone miner generates the cobblestone. This gets pulled into here where it gets compressed. That gets compressed, it goes into the barrel. From the barrel, it's going to get yeeted up into here where it is going to make lava. Now here is where we're going to maneuver things around, because then the lava I want to move into a basic tank. because I would like to have a reservoir. Oh, and I need glass. Please tell me there's glass over here. Thank you. Pink. Alright, so now I need out of my thing, I need the pipe. And then this is going to be okay. So now we have the melter is going to make the cobblestone into lava. The lava is going to move over into this tank. And then theoretically we can put a second tank there if we get a backfill. Alright. Are my gears done? Gears done are back here. Yeah, 16 of them. Perfect. So then this goes here. Nope, out of redstone. Not a problem. We have redstone actually already prepared. Back over here. Love how I can run right through that and it doesn't hurt me. Hi, have some redstone. I'm short bronze again. Or is there any more bronze waiting to be finished over here? Yes! There is. Da, 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 da. Two more. You see what I mean? This running around stuff, this is not going to work. This is not sustainable. I can't do this. Welcome back. Oh, weekday stream? Yes, weekday streams have not happened in a long time. Okay, we managed to get 3 more. And then I believe over here... Oh. 1. Hello? 2 and 3. No, not water. I thought... No, poo. Bucket mode off. I did not mean to grab a bucket of water. Nope. Shush. Bucket away. Pick up my tank. Okay. Okay. I managed to get 3 ingots worth. That's going to let me make a few of these. Okay. So first the set for black brick. Alright. Router. Okay. So we're going to have an... Here. An exporter. A hopper. an importer. Then we need a round robin upgrade. We need an item upgrade. Let's make several things of ingots. Now we can make... No, now we're short of copper again. Oi. Okay. Okay. Hey, you have that. You have that. No matter which way you go, you're making me copper. You have no choice. You're still going good on lava, so let's use you. I am curious if these extractors would work on cauldrons, because that would be nice. I shouldn't need them as much because these are really good sources of lava when you are melting the compressed cobblestone. They work really, really well. And you are melting into the back. Okay. It surprises me how these systems just seem to randomly decide which way they want to go. Like the controller I thought was supposed to be like a smarter controller and know, you know, to go a certain way, and there's no round robinness about it. So I'm a little worried about trying to put multiple items on one melting. So I'm curious how that part's going to work. We'll just have to wait and see. There's the item, and then I need the sugar. Oop. Where is my sugar for 1 speed? Okay, so now this one, we start with the blue, which is the importer. So we are going to be importing the grout into here. So this is going to be the grout, which I need to grab a grout to put in there. Grab a grout to go in there and click. And then back over here and put the exporter on here. And it's going to be an item and a speed and a round robin export grout. And click. Then you can see the grout is leaving, but then it's going to have grout coming in. So then we should start filling up with our black brick here. which will help us for producing our smeltery. Okay, so next is going to be the lava moving into our alloy kiln. So theoretically, it's the same process, but instead of an item upgrade, it will be a fluid upgrade. So we're going to need one exporter and one importer, but we are going to need more of these. So I need another hopper for another importer. Then I'm going to need, instead of an item, I need a fluid upgrade. Now I'm curious, for a tier 2, you need gold nuggets. I have gold nuggets. So I could, well, first of all, I need to make a bucket. That's interesting. It doesn't require... That is a full bucket in operation. 3, I do not have the ability to do because I do not have emeralds. But let's do a 1 and a 2. I need sugar again. So there's speed. And then the round robin. Now, for now, I'm putting the round robin in, even if there's only one operation, only one importer, one exporter, because theoretically I could add a second importer in the future, and so I just want it to be sort of my standard to put that round robin in there. That way I don't have to remember later, oh, did I put one in there or not? It's just going to be my standard to include it. Okay, so... Oh, but how do I tell it what to... How do I tell it what to include? This is a good question. So I'm going to take this off. Put the importer on. Empty item fluid filter. Do I... I don't know the answer to this. I'm going to put that there. Fluid upgrade, speed, speed. How do I populate it for a fluid? Hey, Greg! Compact the grout into black bricks to save a step. Compact them. Oh, instead of cooking them. you can compact 4 of them into the black bricks instead of cooking them. I totally didn't see that recipe. Well, I need the black bricks singular for crafting the smeltery, which I suppose you can break down the 4 brick ones can be broken back down into the singulars, I would assume. If that's the case, we will recycle that to another purpose. After I figure this one out. Can I drag a fluid over from here? So if I do lava, can I drag the lava to here? Oh, you can. Good call. I do here, here. Okay, so then do here to here and click. And then here to here, click. Alright, so then we should see, hopefully, yes! Lava is moving on its own at just over 1 bucket a tick. Okay, so now we can move the importer here. And then this would be for molten obsidian, like that. And then we can add the exporter here. And then this would be the speed upgrade round robin here. And then I need a fluid upgrade instead of a item upgrade. Fluid upgrade, but I now know I can jump right to level 2. Because of my secret stash of illicit gold. Boom, 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 boom. So then my exporter here. Okay, and then we're going to be importer, exporter, and that's going to be full, and that's going to be kept full of obsidian, because this is going to be full of obsidian. And now I'll have obsidian, molten obsidian, to be able to pipe directly to my tanks over there. Yes! Ooh! That's awesome. Okay, so now I need a compactor, because it's not, I can't do this. So I can't use a crafter. It has to be a compactor. So compactor. One of these. So there's that. And then I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8 of these made into gears. Down here. And I'll do this. Take that off, put that on, put that away, hop up here, pop those in there. Ooh, I like it. I like it. That happens to me way too often that I miss a better recipe for something. Compactor. Okay, so instead of cooking the grout, we are going to put that there and grab this, put that there, and that. So that's going to go there, and that's going to do that and make black bricks. Then I'm going to need a barrel to store them in. Go around, go around. That. All right. So then this can be routed to I can't route it to this chest because at some point it's going to get full. So this is where we need a storage drawer controller and a series of drawers that'll hold 2,000 and... Well, if we do the 2x2 drawers, they'll hold 500 and... whatever 2048 is divided by 4. 5, 1... I can't do the math. It's 2,000. 512, thank you. I totally will stand in the windmill blades because physics has no place in the world of Minecraft. These will not hurt me. They don't even move me as they hit me. They literally pass through my body, and I am untouched. Nothing. I do have the item batcher set up for both of the basic and the advanced. Got those set up. But they're currently just plugged into a chest. And the chest is currently completely backfilled with crushed deep slate. And the ores that use the crushed deep slate are also completely full. So I have a crushed deep slate overflow problem, which is a nice problem to have considering I had no crushed deep slate and now I have too much. Yes, it would be funny if they hit me and stopped. And yeah. Well, for now I have turned it off until I've started consuming some of it. In other mod packs, you've been able to ride the windmill turbines. Because I know in E6E we were riding these, and I had a merry-go-round set up with my one of my create machines. It was literally like a little merry-go-round. It was quite entertaining. But yeah, they just pass right through me. Don't even notice I'm here. I'm not there. It's quite funny. Okay, so I need more silver and more palace. As we keep knocking out these pieces of automation. So we had a little more lead. Not a lot more lead, though. So I had that 16, and I have that 16. Which I can do that and turn it into 2 blocks. Which I believe I have these both set to blocks. Yes, okay, so I can do that. That'll take care of the palace. And then I have the silver. I had the other half of that stack I did. Oops. Come here. Then this needs to turn back into plate. But when I set up the silver processing, for example, I can split it to do silver blocks and silver plates, so that it produces theoretically both of them at once, and then the silver plates would route over to the advanced machine, and the silver blocks could get deposited in storage. Or into probably maybe a storage door controller that stored all of my blocks of finished ingots. Which maybe I may prefer to do that so that I don't overload the Tom storage system, because we would not want to do that. We got an ad break coming here in 30 seconds, so for those of you who are not subscribers, hang tight and we'll see you when the ad break is over. I'll just keep working on making more of these advanced ingots while you are away. Maybe that wasn't an ad break starting, it was an ad break ending. I misread the thing. Oh, jeez. I am decidedly out of practice in streaming, apparently. I can't read my own messages. How embarrassing. Okay, we've got copper, got lead. I am decidedly not a professional at this. Just a little old lady who likes playing Minecraft. Okay, let's get up on the roof and turn these over. Oh, no, there it is. It just took a while. Silly Twitch playing with my mind. Like, where? It said, I could have sworn it said there was an ad break starting. Where is the ad break? And I'm like, oh, finally, here's the ad break. Like, where were you, ad break? Not that I was like looking forward to the ad break. I just couldn't figure out where it was. Oh, we also were missing bronze. Gosh darn it. I missed that. I don't think we had any more coming out of here. We did not. Alright, so we need... more copper and tin. Got copper. And I've got tin. Is there a way... There isn't a way of mixing them together in this state. I take time to... Fun tip with the reconstructor. If you put the pressure plate in front of the laser and throw the items, it turns the laser on. Oh. Oh, dang it. Nope, stop it. Alright, so if we move this to here, we will give that a try. Thank you, thank you. John put together the most interesting contraption today on his stream for manipulating his atomic reconstructor with immersive engineering conveyor belts, where he had conveyor belts running alongside in parallel, two of them, so the beam would cross both of them, and he had it on like loop-de-loops, and then the items would just keep running around in parallel, loop, 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 until the beam would catch the item, and then it would go zoop out of the loop. It was very cool. I'm like, when I am to a point of ready to try to automate this, that might be something I give a try. Just because I thought it looked really cool. So we should have a number of the black brick now, plus what I have in here. And there should be glass, not in there, in here. Grab some of that. So we know we need 7 setups That's interesting. It didn't put all of them in there. Is my storage full? Oh dear. Well, we'll take some of that stuff out when we make these. We need 7 setups. So we're going to need 7 simple tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why did that only make me 3? Okay, there's 7 tanks. Then I need simple controller. And now this is where we need some black brick. There's a start. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there is the controller and the tank. And then we're going to need the solidifiers. Now here's where things get difficult. And I didn't get a chance to make notes on these. So we're going to go make notes on this quick, because I need to leave sufficient room for all the solidifiers that I may need. So here we've got aluminum. I know I'm going to need blocks, ingots, and gears. Although I could probably scrap the ingots and just go with the blocks and the gears. Silver, we're going to have blocks and we're going to have plates. Nickel, we're going to have blocks and we're going to have rods, because there's the rods. So there's the aluminum, that's the gear. There's the nickel, and that's the rods. And there's the silver, and that's the plates. So that's the everything we have in there. Then over here, we've got stone. We're not going to worry about that. Then we have copper. Copper, we have blocks. We've got ingots. We have rods. We have gears. We've got a lot of stuff that we need out of copper. That's for sure. Okay, so that takes care of aluminum. That takes care of silver. That takes care of nickel. That takes care of copper. Tin, we only need block, I think, because I don't think I've run across anything else that we need tin for, shape-wise. And then lead, same thing. I think we only need block. I know I've used lead plates, but I don't know if we necessarily need to be making 100 million lead plates, or if we just make plates on demand. So for now, we just go with block. And then we have iron. Iron, we're going to need block. Then from block, we can make the ingots and the nuggets. We can always add plates, gears, any of these other ones. We can always add them as needed if I leave sufficient room. Which that's the important thing, is leaving room. Okay. So that is a minimum of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 solidifiers to start. Okay. So simple solidifier. That's going to use a lot of black bricks. A lot. 6 per. There's 2. And 24. And 1, 2, 3, 4. That's only 3. 4. I just need 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simple solidifier. There. Okay, so those are 7. Then there is the second tank for the cooling. I gotta think about this. Nope. You still have copper in you. Hang on. I gotta fix this. There's something stuck in you too? No. Okay. Alright, so let's see. The copper one starts here, but it has the most items. So we should probably start with the ones that have the least, which is lead, technically iron, silver, nickel, and lead, which are over here on the end. Okay, so if we do it, how do we want to do this? If I do it this way, but rotate it, so tank, controller, solidifier. So if I do it this way, and I do tank, controller. 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 Solidifier. And if we're doing the one on the end is nickel. Nickel has 2 items, which is block and rod. So if I put 2 solidifiers, 1, 2, then theoretically a cooling tank should go here. All right, well, you have a good night, John, and thank you for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it very much. So then the inputs would be the molten obsidian coming into here, the raw nickel coming into here, and then we would have a block plate and a rod plate in here. And then both of those would need an output into a thing of drawers that maybe we put in the back here. Is that how we want to play this? Maybe? Because I think I have a drawer controller. And I have some drawer cores. So if I do 2x2 drawers, oh, but those have to be drawer core 4s. I have regular drawer cores. Okay, hang on. So I can do 7 drawers, full-size drawers, and I have 7 blocks. So I can put 1, 2, 3, and then I can put 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can put my blocks in the bottom drawers. I gotta find a drawer key, so that way I can lock these drawers after I have assigned them their target. What is a drawer key look like? Oh, that'd be expensive. Oh, a drawer core plus 2 basic technium ingots and a nugget. Ow! I wish I had known that before I made all the drawers. Ugh. I mean, obviously we're going to need to make one of those. I'm going to need to make some of these drawer core 4s. That is a trapped chest, or a chest with a drawer's blueprint. I have chests. I brought back lots of chests already from the mansion. Drawer's blueprint. Okay. Good thing I have some more drawer cores already. Okay, there are some drawer 4s. How far am I from being able to have more of these? I just need the copper rods. Oops. I'd like to get at least one. Okay, if I change this out for this, and then do 6 of those. I'd like to get at least one of these items set up today. Because then, depending on when I get to play again next, it's just a matter of replicating the setup multiple times and including the right number of solidifiers. I need 4 and 4. I need 8 copper rods to have enough copper rods. Where did I get 16 eggs from? I have no idea where those eggs came from. Oh, yes I do. I'm guessing I know where they came from. Now I'm missing. Is that enough for 2? Yes, that's enough for 2. That should be enough for me to make my drawer key. I bet that Chickenator dropped me some eggs. Is it overflowing? I bet it is. So one of the challenges is this Easter egg chapter, which is making these. You start with a chocolate factory, and then you're making these Easter eggs, and it's this whole thing. And so we have this chicken making us eggs. And I'm wondering if you are spewing too many eggs, Mr. Chicken. We wanted to get a head start on needing eggs. So we have a chicken making us eggs. So I imagine there's going to be a chocolate factory somewhere in the Woodland Mansion handling the requirements of that challenge at some point. Okay. Oh, I grabbed. Oh, you dropped some eggs. How did I miss you arriving? You're the problem, it's me. Silly Greg. We do have a lot of waypoints. I'm not gonna lie. If you would like to go exploring, we have a few waypoints. Just a few. Okay, more than a few. We have a lot. Grinch has done more than a bit of exploring. There's a lot of exploring. Like all over the place of exploring. So there is a ton of different biomes and locations and neato things, and it's because he did all of that amazing exploring that we found the nether meteors, which gave us early access to gold, which is kind of game changing because it means I'm going to have my speed upgrades, which I am so psyched about. I don't have them yet, but I will. I've got my 64 gold dust right there, and I still have 249 gold ingots. It's a thing of beauty. Drawer key. Bing. Yep. If you find a nether meteor and you mine gilded blackstone, it will break and drop gold nuggets. And if you mine it with a silk touch pickaxe, you can get the gilded blackstone and the gold nuggets, potentially. So you can just keep mining the same piece of blackstone and still get the gold multiple times. It's kind of freaky. In a very good way. It's kind of crazy, but really, really good. Okay, so let's start with the beep. Lovely. Now, I've got the drawer core 4, and I think I needed 4 of them, and I only made 2. Because I mathed badly. Then I put the wrong thing in. Looks like Pittsburgh is going to beat Miami in Monday Night Football. Miami just tried an onside kick, and actually they got a good bounce. It went the 10 yards and bounced away, but they couldn't get anybody to the ball before a Pittsburgh Steeler fell on it. Oh, it used my drawer core. Oh, no. Okay. That will work. Okay, so now if I want my oak drawer here, well, how do I end up with only 2 of these? And I don't understand at all. What? Because now you're going to want 2s. I'm so confused. All right, I'll make one more. One more. Oh, don't show me the playoff picture. It doesn't have the Chiefs on it, and it's just depressing me. Oh, there's my... I didn't wait for all of them to craft before. I'm a doofus. Boom, 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 boom. So if I make another drawer key with a concealment key, I can get the labels. But I have to have those blocks to do that. That's fine. Okay, so then we'll put these on top. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then we'll do this, and we'll do dink, dink. Peachy Keen. Okay, let's put that in there for now. Okay, so we've got this, this, and this. Then let's put, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. This, this, this. Okay. Because I need my molten obsidian. It's going to round robin to each of these tanks. It already has a round robin, distributing it to the advanced to keep it full. So, okay, so let me think this through. I already have an exporter and I have an importer. So all I need to do is make importers for each of the solidifiers. I don't need to make an additional exporter. I only need importers. Okay, and then I'm going to need router. I'm going to want a fluid upgrade 2, which means I need to make a bucket. Fluid upgrade 2 is going to transfer a bucket at a time of molten obsidian into the tank. I'm going to want a speed upgrade 2, which means I'm going to need a sugar. Speed upgrade 2. Oh, no, wait a minute. I'm making importers. I don't need to make the upgrades. Okay, wait. So what I should do is add another one of these and another one of these. Okay, and then we're going to have an importer, and this is going to be the molten obsidian here. Did I have a round robin in that one? I did. So now I have to click on the importer and then the exporter. So I click on the importer, and then I click on the exporter. So now should establish connection with both of them. So now this should start filling up with molten obsidian. Okay. All right. So now we have the first tank filled. So now we need one pair of importer and exporter to move the ore around. So this is going to be an exporter. So we're going to need an exporter. I only need one egg for the chocolate factory. Oh, good grief. We got all those eggs and we only need one egg? Oh! Just our luck. Well, we have a whole family of chickens then. Okay. So now this one, we need an item upgrade, which we already have. We'll make a round robin, although I don't know if we'll need the round robin. We've got the item. Now we need the speed, which is here, which means we need the sugar. Sugar, speed. And we can stack these, and I do have the gold now, so theoretically I could put item upgrade 2s in, which would speed these up, or I could stack a whole bunch of item upgrade 1s in to speed them up too. So we've got some flexibility in how we do this. So I could put a bunch of item upgrade 2s in, or I could put more speed upgrade 2s, or we could do a bunch of different things. But for now, just to get the process moving, we're going to do this. So this is going to be for nickel. Oh, we need to get the cast. Let's take this is nickel, block and rod. So we're going to take a block and rod with That's us. We're going to need to make a bunch more block rod. Okay, so we've got block in one and rod in the other. Now what I don't know is this controller going to split between the two? I don't know that. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so thank you for sleeping. I do appreciate it. Okay, so nickel. So we're going to take if I import directly in here, it's too many slots for the controller. Is that going to be a problem? Or should I input to a chest above the controller, feeding into controller? No, it shouldn't be a problem because it's only going to feed one per operation to start. Until I speed it up. So it should be fine. So it should be importer here, connect. You're filling up already. Oh, because you're completely backlogged. Really? Okay. So then the exporter is going to go down here. And it's going to be item, speed, round robin, and connect. And you start filling. And you're going to start melting. And you have raw nickel, but you do not. And there's our first nickel block. Which then I can take the nickel block and put it in there. And there is our first nickel block. Yes, there is plenty of diamonds for you to make yourself diamond gear. We're up to, I think, 10 stacks of diamonds. Yep, you're fine. Okay, so I'm going to lock in 100 millibuckets of fluid because I want to make sure that this always stays as being nickel. No, we are producing diamonds. So I have diamond production going in our woodland mansion. It is slow compared to JC's monstrosity of a factory. And I picked up something. We have got... I have to walk around the silicon factory here. So we have got a cobblestone and a gravel miner set up here. The gravel miner is operating with pipes under the floor to bring in gravel, coming over here to be compressed gravel, to come over here to be flint, comes over here to get enriched, to come over here to provide the oxygen, but it has been supplanted a little bit because over here I have got an electrolytic separator that, when able to process water into hydrogen and oxygen, this oxygen feeds into that as well. But now that that's full, it's falling back onto the enriched flint source. So that is providing the oxygen. Then over here, we have got the compressed cobblestone going into a melter, providing lava. Then we have 2 cloches up there that is providing the wood that goes down here. And if I bring this over, this gets turned into charcoal. The charcoal comes down here, gets melted into molten coal. That gets turned into a block of coal that comes down over here. The block of coal comes in here. It gets purified by the enriched flint. It then gets shot over here by the exporter to this station. When there are 8 purified coal blocks, the purifying water converts it into diamonds. So these are all of the diamonds I have made, and we've now used, I believe, about a stack and a third, maybe? Grinch is making himself some diamond armor. We've made a diamond pickaxe. And I've used a few diamonds for the purposes of making some reinforced alloy, working up to ultimate control circuits, atomic alloy, and those types of things. So there's been some diamonds consumed, but JC is going through thousands of diamonds. So yeah, and there he goes in his diamond armor. Yeah, I have found so far that I have progressed to a point that I need to automate everything. Because right now I'm at the point where to make the 2 core ingots, which are the basic technium and the um, advanced technium, I'm basically making the 9 inputs and then gathering them from different locations and running them over to the machine, and that is not efficient at all. It is not anywhere close to being efficient, and we're going to need thousands of these ingots, and I cannot keep up with the number of ingots we are going to need if I keep running around the base trying to make the items. This is not going to work. So, I am rather desperately trying to make the things. um, so far I've got 1 ore processing into blocks, but it's not processing into here. If I put a pipe on there, I can move it over with a pipe, but I obviously don't want to do that because then I'm not making the blocks. And I can't put another controller here because then that would be 2 controllers in the same multi-block and that would bulk. I'm not sure what to do. How do I get... You may have to exchange the rod block position. You think if I switch... Put the rod here and the block there, that it would fill both of them? There is no round robin, so when the rod will be full, it will make the rod and then the block. Oh, I see. So because larger amounts of fluid are going into here than it's consuming to fill, this will eventually get filled and this one will start filling. Gotcha. So whichever solidifier, I'm going to make a note here. So whichever solidifier fills first, put the smaller item. And then put the block in the second item. So copper, I have 4 solidifiers. I probably need to do 2 separate setups with 2 each, rather than trying to set up 4, because it's never going to fill up 4 of them. Oh, or do a multi-block. Oh, that's a good thought too. Because if I do the multi-block, I can have multiple solidifiers that handle each task separately, and they will all fill? So I'm going to grab the copper, or sorry, the copper. I'm going to grab that. This is going to go here, and these are going to go there, and then come back out. Now, why didn't that lock? No. going to take the nickel rods. They go over here. Okay, so that is full of nickel rods. So we'll go ahead and put these in here for now. What am I missing doing another one here? Bronze again! Oh gosh. I made the dust. Lovely. Oh, wrong way. You're out of lava again, too. Okay, great. Come on. I definitely need to figure out the best way of doing bronze. There's definitely got to be faster ways of doing it. There is 2. One more. I have 1 alloy kiln making molten obsidian. I may need a second one specifically to do bronze. See, once I have copper and tin blocks, I can make bronze using the blocks in an alloy kiln. The big multi-block alloy kiln. Assuming I have enough power. That may be a big assumption. This, unfortunately, will not work. Come on. think we're getting close to being in a good wrapping up point. I might put a little safety measure in here so things don't do anything wild. Okay, that's gonna run. I think once I log off, everything's gonna stop running, so it becomes a moot point at that point. But because chunk loading doesn't seem to work. Hey, there we are getting blocks. Awesome. Oh, this is great. This is great. Then all we have to do is well, now wait a minute. There's nothing on its own. Used to connect, insert into the connected. Exporters can send to multiple importers. It doesn't specify if it works the other way around. If multiple exporters can connect to a single importer. Oh, I didn't even grab any of the upgrades. I'm just excited I got one working. I'm so glad I got to stream after so long. It's been so long, folks. Okay, so I'm going to need an item upgrade, a speed upgrade. Now these, we don't need round robin. Oh no, we do need round robin because the rods will need to go to multiple places. The blocks won't. So if we look at the let's do it this way. Come, an importer. Of a nickel block here. And this is going to be on the ones in the back. And click. And this here, click, going to be an item, speed, click. And you can see the little green line. And it slowly fills of nickel blocks. See, now these I want all the nickel rods. I'm going to want that to go right on the side of this and fill that entire thing with nickel rods. That then I can send the nickel rods over to that thing to keep it going. How close am I to making one more? Bronze and aluminum gears. Put one more upgrade in and I think we'll call it a night. We have gotten so much done tonight. I am so happy. Okay, get aluminum gears running. And then we have the rest of the bronze. Oh yeah. Because we're going to need more of these here soon. Eek! Or I'm going to need more redstone too. I'll bring more redstone. I appreciate the tip Calyx gave me on the how to set up those solidifiers, because that helps a lot. Okay, oop, not yet. Put that away, that away, that away, that away, that away. Okay, we'll put that away, that away, that away, that away. That away, that away, that away, that away, that away, that away. I still need that, that away. Oh, my thing is full. I am going to claim all my quests. So I am caught up on that. I don't have cocoa beans. Need to get some cocoa beans. I'm sure we have a jungle biome in one of our waypoints so that we can go get cocoa beans. Oh, more copper rods. Excellent. Alright, so you get copper rods. Nice. And you get these. I can use coal charcoal too if power is a problem. Because right now I have this just pulling off of the power from my wind turbine. And so far so good. But I mean, it doesn't. Apparently it must not take a lot of power to make the molten obsidian. So, we'll see if that continues to hold true as I consume more and more molten obsidian. Oh, for the bronze? Yeah, that may be a problem. Because if I make a second alloy kiln, that is sure to start consuming more power, for sure. Okay, so now we're going to have another exporter, hopper for importer. Okay, and then we're going to have, this is for the nickel rods. This one, I'm going to want a round robin. This one's going to need an item upgrade. This one's going to need a speed upgrade. Oh, now I'm out of sugarcane. Okay, so now hopefully I've grown some sugarcane. Perfect. or not perfect. Item, speed, round robin. Okay. Okay, so then this one, we're going to have the importer on the side for iron rods. And then this one, we're going to have the exporter on the side. Oh, wait. Importer. And then this one. I didn't keep a iron rod. This one, iron rod, round robin, item, speed upgrade, and this. Then this one should start slowly emptying the nickel rod out and filling this. Okay. Then that can round robin to something over here. No, because we wouldn't want to import the nickel rods there. We'd want to import them here to keep that full. Although I suppose we could do this. If we did that. Oh, wait. If we did this. With this. So if that round robined the nickel rods between the two, it would store some and it would deposit some here. It does. And in the right location. I have so much I need to play around with. The important thing is we have our first setup done for nickel. And nickel is slowly being processed down here, which is great. And I have 6 more to set up, so I can mark nickel off. Right. I have the power set up from when I used it to do the obsidiglow ingot. So I tend to have one machine set up for multiple crafts. And that needs power. So what I did is I just took the molten obsidian template, the research thing out, made my ingots, and then put it back in. Because I wasn't having it continuously making molten obsidian like I am now. So I'll probably have to make another one of these for purposes of making bronze and the um, obsidiglow ingots. But that means I can reroute this power off of this one to the other one. But I could build the second one like right on top of it and put the power to it up there. True. True. I could probably remove the item batcher once I get all of the importers set up so that everything is just being imported directly into here. Once everything is feeding directly into here, then the item batcher is no longer going to be needed. You're probably right. That might be the route we go, is once we have everything being fed directly into both of these, then we no longer will need the item batcher and we can just feed them directly in. You're probably right. That's probably a good goal. So yeah, we've made a lot of progress. We have now lava. Our cobblestone is being converted into lava, which is going over here into molten obsidian, which is going to feed all of our smelteries over here. Once I get them all set up, I do want to add the coolant tanks, which I need to remind myself what that proper cooling fluid is. I don't think I have it quite. I'm not quite ready for liquid nitrogen yet. I may be, and I just don't believe in myself yet. But liquid nitrogen is a good goal to have, but I may not be right quite there yet. But we can make things go faster with the coolant. So we'll then want to run a coolant going right down here to speed all of this processing up. But first I want to get all the processing in line here. So that's going to run down here, and then it's going to feed right into this line of drawers, which I'm going to put some torches down over here. Let us get some light. And then this stack of drawers is going to contain all of our ore materials, and that is going to be awesome. And I'm deliberately putting those inputs down here underneath, and then I'm going to do the same thing hopefully that I did with the rods and have it going both to storage and over to basic technium or advanced technium depending on where it belongs. So yeah, I think we are in great shape. So I'm knitting tomorrow, and I have an accumulatory date for a movie on Wednesday. but maybe we can have another stream yet this week, depending on how things go. We'll see what happens. And yeah, hopefully we'll get at least one more, two more streams in before the end of 2025. And in the meantime, I will keep going with getting these setups built. And hopefully the lag is not too bad. Nope, we're still doing good. It's still 20. Of course, we only have 2 people online right now. So we'll see how, when everybody is online, if the TPS is still doing well as I add more and more of these routers moving things around. Hopefully TPS doesn't start pulling down. We will see. But yeah, really happy with the progress tonight and getting more automation, more wirelessly transporting of materials around the base, and that is all good stuff for us. So hopefully we will keep that moving on, and maybe by the next time we stream, we'll be closer to having the basic technium and the advanced technium automatically producing and being deposited in drawers, because that is ultimately what we want. Is we want to have 2 drawers filling up with those ingots without me touching it. That's what we want, is drawers filling with those 2 ingots and me not touching the process at all. Um, I don't want to advance further in the pack until I have that happening. Because we're going to need so many of those ingots. I need to get to that stage. So that is the goal. And I'll keep working on that. And we'll update progress in the next stream. So thank you again so much for hanging out. Thank you, JC, for the resub. Sorry again for the long hiatus. I appreciate your patience while I caught up on my orders. And hopefully we'll see you guys again next time. I will catch you hopefully in another Megacycle stream soon. And we'll see you this weekend with more District Spark and JC streams as well. Catch you again soon. Bye now.